Well, thanks everyone. So gamification is something that we do a lot of, and a lot of times we don't even realize it. But the more you turn something into something that's fun, the more you want to do it. So, for example, when you get rewards for doing something, you're going to do it more. So obviously, you know, my wife and I, we live in the LA area. When we go to the beach, that's a reward in of itself. So some of the things may not have rewards beyond what you do. So what pixEOS has done is created ways to have rewards to do things that you may want to do, but you may want to do more if there are more rewards built in. So what we do with pixEOS is, here's our mission here, is basically to transform art creation into a process where collectability becomes viral, and it's just a game. So this is a close-up here of our flagship product, pixEOS Paint, and it launched back in February. And this is an area that I worked on a little bit. I'm also an artist. I'm an art collector too. I probably have one of the biggest collections of NFTs on Ethereum, non-fungible token, rare digital art on Ethereum. Have a pretty big collection on Counterparty as well, running on top of Bitcoin. And then EOS is about to have its own rare digital art gallery through pixEOS. Will be one of the first rare digital art galleries on EOS. It's going to be launching next month, so we're excited about that. But this little thing here is actually a milestone in art history for gamification. I'll be talking about it more as we go forward. But just think about it. I'm going to throw out three things. All right, think about these things. Okay, what do an online art wall / game / kind of gambling prospects, because if somebody paints over what you paint on, you lose what you have created, but you get crypto in exchange for it. So what does that have in common with a slot machine that's digital, but instead of getting tokens, you get rare digital art from the slot machine? And then also a 3D online art gallery where you're kind of walking virtually through this digital gallery, and you actually have incentives to collect art, and you get rewards as you walk through, and when you explore, you get more rewards for becoming a collector. So all these things, what they have in common is gamification. And so this is what we do. And here's a little mock-up of a slot machine that we do want to build next year, where it will spit out rare digital art. You press your buttons, you put in the tokens, and you get art out of it at a randomized process. So what we're doing is we're basically turning gamers into artists, artists into gamers, and art collectors into gamers too. There's a lot of crossover there, and I know that because that's what happened to me. I started as an artist, became an investor, became a collector, and I'm kind of an older guy, but I also, late in life, became a gamer because of the interest in art and the crossover. So think about the phone industry. You know, I still remember the old, you put your finger in the hole and you roll, the dial, is just a landline in your house. And the telecom industry, they created a whole new demand by turning that phone device into something that is full of games, is more interactive, and that's what we're going to be doing with art and art projects. We're going to be gamifying it more, so it'll be more fun. And it's going to because it's digital, there's going to be a lot lower barrier to entry. It won't be as stuffy. Sometimes people think of art, oh, it's stuffy, it's, you got to be a millionaire. But there'll still be expensive art, but we're seeing now that there's also affordable. You could become a collector at $5 a pop, and you could become a collector at mid-range too, and scale up as your income increases. So just to give you an idea of what we're talking about in terms of market size, so you have the art market estimates, last year estimate is $64 billion annual revenue, and then the gaming market is $100 billion. All right, so even if pixEOS or a few of us banded together to do some projects together, we love partnering with other EOS or other blockchain projects like Sense and others. Even if we just captured this much, just 0.005% and 0.002% of these markets, which is nothing, it's dust. We're talking about over $500 million. So that's the potential here. And again, if you're in this room, you're basically have first mover advantage because most of the rest of the world is not really thinking on this level. So it's an exciting time to be part of it. The ecosystem that pixEOS is building, it's a play to earn. You play the games, you get a little crypto, and then you could buy some rare digital art with it. Or vice versa, you issue rare digital art and you earn crypto back, and then you could play the games and scale in at higher levels. So there's all sorts of integrated economic schemes built in to help incentivize collecting art, issuing art, playing the games. It's all integrated. Here's an art piece that Nanu Burks and I, she's one of our featured artists, we worked together. She did this, and then I added this. And there'll be 2 versions released in our NFT Rare Digital Art Gallery coming out next month. One will be animated, and one will be a still image. So there's a lot of room for collaboration on the blockchain here. Here's just a few of the things that you can do with the pixEOS token. We've published this quite a bit, but just think about an ecosystem where you're playing games with the token, you're issuing art, you're staking the coins to release more art, you're collecting the art, you're trading, buying, selling, auctioning off. There's a lot of things you could do. Soon you'll also be able to hire freelance artists with this stuff. So it's a lot of cool things. User-generated content is a big part of what we're doing. So with the pixEOS canvas that we're working on, we have a lot of people contributing to it. And we also have a featured artist program, and we're looking for more featured artists as well, as long as they want to be in the crypto space. So we do have a bunch now, but our site is so many different things. Is it a graffiti wall? Yes. Is it kind of a feel-good environment? Yes. Is it an art gallery? Yes. Is it a game? It's multifaceted. So people have to think about that. If you just said, oh well, only 671 people have worked on this, and if it's a game, that would be kind of pathetic, all right? But if you said almost 700 people worked on one art project, and it's all registered on the blockchain, and they could actually, and it's still going on right now, that's actually a milestone in art history. Like, so I come from an art background, that is a big deal. And then what you're going to find is, okay, this is kind of weird. It's not, I don't know, is it aesthetically pleasing? Maybe, maybe not. But when we changed the tokenomics of it, and we did, you're going to see a different visual later. So actually altering the tokenomics of how this plays out alters the visual image. So we're really creating cutting-edge art history milestones here. And I'll show you a few examples in a bit, but you could see, I'm doing some little characters over here, and then somebody else comes through and just kind of splatters dots all over. And if I don't mind, I'm okay. Or if I could pay them to paint over these pixels. That's how it works. There's all sorts of things. It's kind of cross between graffiti, art, and it's just one of our many apps that I'm going to highlight. You pay. You could draw for free on your desktop, but if you want to register those pixels on the blockchain, now you got to buy the pixels. And we have 2 different versions, one where you pay in EOS and one where you pay in our pixEOS token. And you could see how it'll show you a little thing here. Oh, well, do you really want to do this? You have your scatter wallet. You could also do it on mobile as well. That's kind of how that works. This is another example of what you're doing with the wallet. There's a lot of fail safes to make sure you don't accidentally spend a couple EOS on it. So it's an exciting thing. Here's an example. Somebody wrote a swear word here. You can see an F here. I'm not going to spell it out. I'm a family guy here. But they wrote a swear word here, and I zoomed in, and I'm like, let me paint a little face over that to cover up the swear word. So I had to pay extra to cover up this person's swear word, but that's what I want to do. So I'm kind of cleaning up. I'm also earning crypto. I'm paying crypto, and I'm creating art and moving the art further down the line. So you could see this pixel here. It shows you there's an explorer here. You press the I. It shows you. Oh, this pixel here was painted over only one time, and it was painted by myself here. All right, and then you could see here this other fella who possibly made the swear word. Maybe he could, but he owns this pixel. I left that alone. It was painted over one time. And so you could see there's some that are painted over 2 times. This is another piece I did within the big canvas. The guy's mouth was originally white. Somebody came in, be a smart person, and they want to make it black. If I want to paint over that, now I'm going to paint over it a 3rd time and pay. So it creates new dynamics for art. It's very, very interesting. Really interesting dynamic to do there. So once the canvas is completed, we'll take it down and put it in our Rare Digital Art gallery, and then it'll be, you could auction it, bid on it, own it, trade it, sell it, all those great things. And here's just another little zoom in of it, and then we'll start a new version too. So it's really is art history in the making. Here's an example. We changed the tokenomics, issued a new one for cheaper on our token, pixEOS. And because it was a lot cheaper and people were more likely to paint over each other, you can see it's more aesthetically pleasing. And this is still something you can paint on now. It's one of our games. It's called pixEOS Paint FE for Flash Edition. That's FE. You can see how many artists worked on it, 140. And there's still more that can be. Here's a zoom in of that. You can see the original. You see the graffiti-ness of this. So, you know, it's kind of people branding stuff, creating art. It's all together. Originally, this area focused on that. It says Dice 1. Somebody put that in for their brand. And then somebody wrote, turn it into a swear word. Then I came back in, put some happy faces there. And they may come in and put swear words. Hopefully not, but that's just kind of how it's a strange environment. So that's just one of our games. We have other games. You log in with Scatter, and you can play these other games. We have Block HS 3000, pixEOS Paint Arcade. We have all different arcade games. And there's rewards for multiplayer. You could join a Legion to hear some more games. We just have a lot of different things going on. It's a multifaceted universe we've created. There's a slot machine right now where you just get tokens back if you win. It's exciting. Our gallery's coming out soon. I'll just run through a few of the artists' images that are going to be for sale there. There'll be many. Here's Fabi Yamada. She's an amazing artist from Mexico. Here's one I created called the Rare Digital Art Avengers. Another Hodl Wheels. Nanu Burks created this. Another one from Nanu. She's one of our featured artists. We also did an avatar maker. This thing is actually one of the most used apps on the around. I think every 15 seconds you get it gets used. Every 15 seconds, somebody on the blockchain is using our avatar maker to create avatars, and they are actually on the blockchain. 5 different projects are using it right now. We have a wearable art shop as well, so you could turn the art into T-shirts and things like that. You can join our Telegram, of course, hear more about it, and that's it. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. I'll be around the next few days. Thank you.